Dad.
Hi, Jordana. Good afternoon.
Hello, what a beautiful Sunday afternoon we've had here today.
It's nice and sunny and warm. It's a shame this didn't occur last weekend when it was cold and wet for Mother's Day, but I'm sure that everybody was out today enjoying the beautiful weather.
Yes, it is very exciting that we are in the middle of May, towards the end of May, and we are being able to have such beautiful weather here. I wanted to take today so we can review the latest Hallmark movie from last night called Love in Zion National Park. What did you think of this week's Hallmark movie, Dad?
I thought it was very interesting. Having been to Zion National Park, it brought back fond memories of the park and the beauty of the mountains that encompass the park. And it also was a love story that combined a lot of features of modern day uh, young people finding themselves and enjoying the renaissance of nature.
I couldn't agree more. I really enjoyed this Hallmark feature. We've been doing the Saturday night features, and I really enjoyed this one, especially because the main actress who played Lauren was in Mom and I's, and I think we got to catch you up on this one because Mom and I have been watching Hallmark for years, but she was the main character in the ones with the dog shows, with the Darcy series, and you would just love it because it's all about dog shows. So I was happy to see her back in it. But back to this one. Tell the fans, your fans, a little bit about what your favorite parts was. It the scenery? Because we just were in another national park in Arizona, which a lot of the scenery was the same.
Well, it actually was beautiful, and Hallmark encompassed the beauty of Zion National Park with this love story about two young people who met and spent 1 week together and found love. It also brought out the natural beauty of the western part of the United States, and it talked about the history of the early people who inhabited this area, the Anasazi Indian tribe.
I thought that was fascinating, and I know that the scenery was exquisite. And unlike most Hallmark movies, which are filmed in Canada, our neighboring country, this one was actually filmed on site in Zion. There we learned there was different pronunciations depending on where in the country you're from. But it was filmed on site, which I thought was fantastic. So we actually got to see the actual location.
Yes, and also it showed that there are descendants of this ancient tribe who are still alive and still are among us, and we don't give much thought. The Anasazi Indian tribe are an ancient people. They go back to the time of Christ, and today we know them as the Pueblos and the Hopis, and also some of the Navajos in this area of the four corners of the United States, which is Colorado, New Mexico, Utah, and Arizona. And this is where the Grand Canyon floats through, and it was all created by erosion and water pouring through these rocky crevices for over 5,000 years. And yet, the Anasazi people still exist.
Yeah, and it showed us that beauty from the canyons that were developed, and we got to see that in this Hallmark feature, which I loved to be able to see the beauty there. And then also really talked about this Anasazi tribe and their history and their relics, and how now, years ago, you used to be able to go into the national parks and just take things, and now you have to get different. You have to write into the national parks.
You have to get permits.
Permits.
And there is an Anasazi museum that collects the ancient arts. What was interesting was that this young woman, Lauren, who was a a curator in a Denver museum remembered having been to Zion National Park with her mother and brought back fond memories of her visit and fond memories of the people who originally inhabited the park.
Yes, that was the beauty of the story, I thought, how it kind of came full circle.
What also was interesting is that you have two people coming together that had never met each other but had common interests. And after spending a week together, they found love and they found that they had so much in common with each other that they wanted to spend their life together. And this story is not unusual. We see people who fall in love after dating for a week and they get married and then they live together for the rest of their lives. And this is what happens with young people when they find each other.
So on a scale from your tier scale of 1 to 5, what would you rank this movie from last night?
I don't give it any tears. I give it happiness. It didn't bring tears to my eyes. It brought happiness to my heart. To A, learn about the Anasazi people, and B, to learn about Zion National Park, and 3, to watch two young people fall in love with common interests and want to go on with their life together.
I love it. So what rating did you give it?
I gave it, you can say a 5 tier, but I'm going to give this one a 5 cheer.
Oh, 5 cheer. I love that, Dad.
Yes. Hallmark really did a wonderful presentation and brought this scenery, which was so well presented as it actually is, and it wants to make us all go to Zion National Park to see the beauty of the park.
Now, I think Hallmark is doing a spectacular job this year, especially, and maybe a little bit of last year, really taking their fans, their viewers, on these trips, not only around the world, but also around the United States to see these fantastic places that now we want to go visit just by through their movies, don't you think?
Oh, I think they're doing a great job, and they're doing a great service to let us all see the beauty of America and to give us diverse love stories, which people seem to enjoy. We all like love stories. We hear enough crime and horrible things happening in our world, and here is something we can all identify with as a wonderful part of our life. Love stories. And Hallmark is doing it.
Yes, I agree. And this actress was in the Yosemite one, the Love on Yosemite Park. So she's getting them all in on our tour of the United States, which I really like. And one of the little things that I had seen about this one was this took place in the summer months, if you remember. But when they filmed, it actually took place when they had a little snow on the ground in the winter. So it was fun to kind of think of these characters being cold, but you couldn't even tell a thing when watching it.
And Jordy, what's happening next week on Hallmark?
I don't remember what next week's movie is. I think it is. I know June is coming into wedding season, and I can't remember what next week is. So we're going to have to hold tight and let our viewers know when we watch it next week. I don't remember. Do you remember?
I'm sure they're going to feature June marriages.
Yes.
And so we should see a lot of people getting married next week.
I think it
next
starts
month.
next week. Yeah.
So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, next week should be a good one, and we're excited. This one was a fantastic 5 cheer movie.
5 cheer, absolutely.
And really watch this movie because we left a lot of surprises. There was some characters we didn't talk about. There was also some adventure we didn't talk about. So this one was a really good one.
Be sure and review it. If you haven't seen this movie, this show by Hallmark, this week, tune on your TV and watch Hallmark from last Saturday.
Yes, Love in Zion National Park. And we will see you on next week to review next week.
Have a wonderful week, everybody.
Bye-bye.